Hey guys, it's Juan here with West Crypto Portfolio, and this is your weekly crypto market update. All right, guys, let's dive right into it. Uh, what a move! First thing first, guys. No, I did not see this particular thing coming. I will say that my volatility model on my forecasting algorithm splits between turning points and volatility. Volatility did suggest that we might see some volatility around this time, but I chose to ignore that because I think the bigger picture, which hasn't changed, and that's what I laid out on the written issue. And I recommend you read that first before you watch this video because this is just an update on what happened since I wrote the issue uh, very early morning yesterday on Wednesday and today. And notice that I specifically did not want to update the charts on that issue because I want you to know that when I wrote the issue and all of its conclusions, this move, it's a shocking move, guys. I think it is probably the biggest up move. If I'm not mistaken, this is probably the biggest up move in the entire year, or it's just right up there. So it's a shocking move. Um, and it doesn't change any of the conclusions. And we didn't need this move to confirm the 4-year cycle low. The 4-year cycle low was already confirmed on Monday, to be perfectly honest. I didn't want to wait until Tuesday to see if it would confirm, but it was already confirmed by the time Bitcoin rocketed higher yesterday on Wednesday and still largely today, which I find quite shocking because this is just a short squeeze, guys. This is a short squeeze. It will not start a new trend. I want to start there. This is the start of a new uptrend. Probably not. And I want to be cautious here. Probably not. Maybe it is. But probably not. I'm not willing to bet on that because nothing's really changed. Bitcoin will just fall back in line with Japanese liquidity at some point, and it's going to proceed lower. The good news here, guys, and the thing that's changed is that Bitcoin is trading for 72 and change. That means as we go into a October low, and we're probably gonna head to an October low. Probably, I might change that outlook based on how it trades over the next 10 or 15 days. But for now, assume that this is a short-term move. It will turn back down. But not only is confirmation of a 4-year cycle low that took place this week important because it tells us that Bitcoin is not going to trade lower than 60K because we had this dramatic move. And because this is a short squeeze, meaning the market, and by the way, one of my friends told me she knows a lot about like the institutional side of crypto. She mentioned to me this is the biggest short squeeze in crypto history. So yeah, everybody who was short betting on 40 to 50K, and I did comment on that in previous videos where I said most people are expecting this. That is likely to be wrong. That's being proven wrong, and you can see how heavily people were betting on that 40 to 50K outcome. I had people on YouTube, on social media, commenting on my videos and on my issues saying, you're wrong, it's going to 35 by October. And I was like, there is no proof of that. And actually, the issue that I wrote this week is mostly about that. It's mostly about the fact that if you look at the facts and you look at how Bitcoin has traded throughout 2026, we can easily see before this move. Keep in mind, I wrote that issue before this move, and already we had enough evidence that July 1st, June 2025 to July 1st is the 4-year cycle. We had plenty of evidence of that fact to that effect prior to the surge that we saw yesterday and largely still today. That's probably what's the word here? I forget the word. It's not momentum, it's inertia. That's probably in the inertia from yesterday that's taking prices even higher today, even though again, this is just a short squeeze. The short squeeze proves one thing, and that is that the let's short Bitcoin until it goes to 30K trade thesis was way too crowded, which is why I was not willing to bet on it at all. It's why we still held Bitcoin, and it's why I still said I think the 4-year cycle is going to be in June, guys. I don't think it's going to take place um, in October at all. And after this move, forget it. It's probably not going to happen. That's what I really wanted to say. That's step number one. So I would say that our support area as we head to October, and we're still likely going to get that correction as we head into October, but I would say that support is probably at 62 to 64. I don't think it's going to go to 58. It might touch 60. And either way, now we have a very clear picture now. Look at the yen even. yesterday, I'm going to talk about what happened yesterday. The yen did pretty well yesterday. It rose by 1%. Yes, Japanese liquidity, Japanese M2 going up by a full percentage point, I think, yesterday, which is quite a bit for Japanese liquidity. That was just the yen rallying. And so the yen went up yesterday, which is quite telling. And I'm going to get to that in a second. I will elaborate a lot more on this, by the way, on next week's issue, the implications, what it means, what we can look forward to. But I will comment on it on this video. But notice that even before we had the move, it was already pretty clear that Bitcoin had made a 4-year cycle low from my timing model. I have people ask me about this because I've spoken before about wanting 3 consecutive closes above the green, about these trend lines. But this was a bit of an exception. The reason for that is Bitcoin was hogging the line for 9 consecutive days. I literally do not recall Bitcoin ever doing this. And then on Monday, I just Monday alone, I thought it was a little suspicious. Bitcoin rose by 2.63%, one of the biggest up moves in since this day, since July. So one of the biggest up moves for about a month. But what was suspicious is there were no news behind it. I believe this up move here, 4.37%, was something related to Iran. There were no headlines on Monday, and Bitcoin rose by over 2.5%. That's a significant move considering it had been trading basically flat for almost 10 days. There were no headlines. And also given how significant that move was, because that move on Monday alone, to me, in my mind, confirmed the 4-year cycle low having taken place June 25, July 1. Then it held on Tuesday. I said, okay, let's see if it holds on Tuesday. It did. They tried to take it down. They failed. And by they, I mean the market. I don't know who. I'm not saying anybody's manipulating this. I don't believe that at all. But then it held on Tuesday. That was good enough. And if you look at the charts on the written issue, you're going to see Bitcoin had barely inched higher when I wrote the issue. And I already said, hey, this is it. It's confirmed. 4-year cycle low in.